Today's video is about my apartment refresher. I refresh my apartment about 4 times a year. I can't help it. I'm always finding how I feel in this apartment and trying to make the apartment present what I want to feel or what I do feel.
Water can flow, how it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Anyhow, so I'm going to show you what I've done to refresh the place. I've actually seriously moved things around this time. Usually I move things around within their own space, but I have rearranged everything in this home, and so I'm happy to show you what I've done just in case you want to do the same thing. So when you open my apartment door, you're kind of very close to my kitchen. That's where my kitchen is at. My kitchen doesn't need much. My window in my kitchen, I don't keep curtains because all there is a brick wall on the other side of that. No one can see into my apartment. My privacy is not threatened, and so I put up fake vines as the curtain just to decorate it. Everything else in there is super on a need basis. I cook about 4 times a week, and so everything in that kitchen is for cooking. I don't try to make it pretty. I just want it to be clean. The moment my apartment door opens, you can see straight into my living room space. I don't like that. So what we're doing today is creating a bit of a divider. There's a tiny little hallway between my kitchen area and my living room area. And so what I've done is purchase fabric to create a sort of divider for that space. So, so you all know, if you've seen any of my apartment videos in the past, that I like to use fabric as curtains rather than curtains, because curtains are really expensive and I never find a set of curtains that I love. I often am disappointed with the length of curtains. I like my curtains to touch the wooden floor, and they never do. So I go out to the fabric store, to Save-A-Thon, specifically on 104th Street on 3rd Avenue, and I buy fabric. I choose what I want. I have all the liberty in the world. This store has the kindest staff and many selections. The prices are economical for me. It's cheaper, much cheaper than buying curtains. So I bought 2 pieces. I actually bought 1 piece, but they cut it into 2 for me. So I bought 1 piece. I can't remember how much this was for the yard, but it wasn't too expensive. It was probably $2 for the yard, and I bought 2.5 yards. So that area is really small. The span of that hallway is pretty small. It's probably about a yard. And so these 2 are going to kind of be like this in a sense. They're going to be bunched up together. So they're going to create more of an opaque color. Even though they are going to be sheer, they're going to remain sheer. They're going to make it busy in that area so that you're not able to see straight into my living room and see details of what's happening or what is in there. So yeah, so it's sheer, it remains sheer, which is something that I really appreciate, because sheer is something that allows me to feel a sense of space. But the curtains, again, make me feel the sense of privacy that I need. I bought this tension rod that expands to 48 inches, so that's perfect. That's about 10 more inches than what I need for that space. So what I'm going to do is going to clip these tiny little curtain ring clips. So it's really important to know the inner diameter. This is 1 inch in the inner diameter, and it's important because your rod might be bigger, might be too big for it. I've done this since I've lived here, so I already know what I'm getting. This fits right in there. And so what I do from this point is just get on the ladder and clip my fabric onto the clips, and I'm done. You can also clip the fabric onto the clips before sliding it on here so that you can really be done. That's actually how I normally do it, because I don't always like to climb on ladders. I'm home alone, and it makes me feel like I might fall. I'm afraid to fall and nobody know, and nobody's here, and I'll be here for hours in need, and you know, alone and helpless and scared. And quick tip, these clips are really expensive. I've seen them in Bed Bath & Beyond for $12, I think, $12.99 for 12. These are $2.99 for 12 at the American outlet in Harlem, all over Harlem. So try finding them for a good price before you go to Bed Bath & Beyond. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get them even cheaper and right away, so you don't have to feel the need to just drive over to Bed Bath & Beyond and pick them up because you need them now. You can order them with quick Prime shipping. And yeah, so again, make sure that the inner diameter match the rod that you're using. So now for the biggest change in my apartment is my living room space. Okay, so my living room is now both my living room space and my bedroom space. I purchased a divider from Home Depot, a much bigger tension rod. This is it right here. It doesn't fit in the full frame. It expands up to 150 inches, and that's exactly what I need. It's actually a little bit more than what I need. That's the whole point of the tension rod. They should be a bit bigger than your space. Anyhow, so this was $60, and it is from roomdividers.com, but I purchased it at Home Depot. So so it's really lightweight and it's easy to assemble. I saw a video on it really quickly. You don't need a hammer, you don't need screws, you don't need anything. You just need another person to help you. If it was something like this, like a tension rod that was this small, you can do it yourself because it's not bigger than your wingspan, and so you can kind of stretch it out on your own and get it on there. But the bigger one, of course, you're going to need another person to help. So my supers can help me with this one. Anyhow, so for this one, the rings that I had did not fit, and I almost fainted because I thought I was going to have to go to Bed Bath & Beyond and buy those overpriced clip rings. But instead, I Googled it. So what I purchased was, where are you? Okay. What I purchased was the clips with the 1.5 diameter, inner diameter from Amazon, and I actually got 40, it was a deal, a great deal. 40 clips for, I think it was like $12, no more than $15, 40. Anyhow, let me show you the difference between the two I just had in my hand. Here's comparing the two side by side. This is the 1 inch inner diameter, and this here is 1.5 inner diameter. Keep in mind, it's just the inner diameter, and that makes a huge difference. So make sure that you have what you need. Anyhow, they have a really good tension in the clip, and that's important because you want to make sure that the fabric is really, really secure in the clip. And you have to account for this right here. You see the clip, it hangs on something so that it can hold on and stay in place. That little thing that it hangs onto, that takes up space. That is the reason why the clips that I had didn't work. It would have been perfect if that little thing wasn't there, but it's there, and so I had to go a little bit bigger. Okay, so the fabric that we are using for my divider, for my my living room, bedroom space divider, is this really pretty fabric that I got, again, from Save-A-Thon. It is a fabric store on 104th Street. I think I mentioned that already. I got this fabric. So it looks really ultra shiny because the light is shining directly on it right now, but it's not so shiny. It's very sheer, and it has a really pretty kind of neutral green, grayish kind of color. It's sheer, but it's not overly sheer, and it's not overly opaque. And I'll tell you why this is important to me. I mentioned it already, but I do appreciate compartments. I appreciate division and, you know, division in my home, meaning compartments, meaning separation, a sense of privacy. But I do not want it to be so opaque that it closes the space up. I appreciate the openness of space. I appreciate space. And so that's why I got something that's sheer, but not too sheer, so that I can have both space and privacy at once. Yeah, so this is what's going to be dividing the space in my living room. I chose green. I chose these colors because all the colors in my home, as you can see from whatever's behind me, are neutral. I like colors that you find in nature, and I don't mean the neon butterfly. I mean the tranquility of a light baby blue sky, the peridot of leaves in a tree. I love that. I love that so much. Green, yellow, blue, brown. Colors that are not going to be too rah-rah. They're not going to be kind of overexposed in any way. I like a stillness in my home. I need to feel stillness in my home. I really appreciate that quiet and that peace, and so that's why I stick to these type of colors. So about 75% of the divider will be this fabric, but I'm thinking of mixing it up. The remaining 25%, I'm thinking of using this fabric, and this is something that I've had for a little while. It was my curtains in my hallway at one point. So this is just an interesting pattern with the colors of the wind, and as I just mentioned, I appreciate the colors that you find in nature for my home. Muted, beautiful, soft colors. So yeah, so I think I'm going to use this as 25% of the divider, and the green one as the 75%. This one will kind of work as a door into my bedroom space, you can say. And I don't know, I'm messing around with that idea, but we'll see what I finally do. Anyhow, you see these two complement each other. They go really nicely. And do you know why that is? That is because this is my color pattern for my home. I don't have to do this. I don't have to hold these two side by side. I've had this for like a year already. This is really new. But because I follow instinctively, innately, a neutral, soft nature color pattern, it just all works. It's just all gonna work. I don't have to shop in bunches. Everything that I bring into this home is gonna pair up nicely. So this fabric was $1 a yard, and I got 7.5 yards. So I spent $7.50. For my bedroom here to my left, to my right is my living room space, and to my left is my bedroom space. For my bedroom, I don't need much. I never need much in my bedroom but a bed. And so we have a bed, and we have two dark wooden chairs. One you see directly behind me. These chairs are really important to me. They belong to my neighbor Moses. He passed away. So rest in peace, Moses. Thank you very much for being in my life. Anyway, he was really dope, and he cared a lot for me. So when he passed away, they were getting rid of these chairs, and I grabbed them. And so now they're just chairs that hold my books with great significance. So I have two of these chairs, books on top of them, and that's pretty much it, and a mirror. And that is it for my bedroom space. In my bedroom, there is a window, and so I'm changing those curtains up as well, the fabric. And what I'm using is this fabric here. This is a beautiful yellow, like the sun, chartreuse color. It kind of actually reminds me of peridot, my birthstone. My birthstone goes from like light yellow to dark green. So this fabric was a little more expensive. It was $4 a yard, and I got 2.5 yards, just one piece. You see, this is how far it goes. So this is enough for one window. So what I do is I buy it and I cut it down the middle to create two curtains. I sometimes ask them for help and ask them to cut it down the middle for me. This time I didn't. Anyhow, this is beautiful. I'm very excited to put it up and to see how it's gonna look. And again, we're using a rod and clips. So passing through my bedroom and into my living room space, you'll have this tiny little hallway that leads you to my bathroom and my now workspace. In my hallway, I don't need much. I have a pretty big window. I just keep the window as clean as possible. It hurts my heart that I cannot climb outside and clean my windows from the outside. They have collected so much dust, and I can't do anything about it, and that really sucks. Anyhow, so I don't need a curtain again in this space because it is just a brick wall on the other end. So I leave it without a curtain and leave it nice and open. I have a chair and a footrest on there in that little window area, and that's it. Bypass my bathroom just a bit. I'm going to go straight to my workspace area. My workspace area is my bedroom. It used to be my bedroom. So what I keep in there is, like I said, my things, my bureau, my clothing rack, filming equipment, my desk, my bikes, and that's it. So I just keep everything in there neat and clean. I don't want it to ever feel like a storage room, like a clutter room. It is a place of cleanliness. It's a place of necessity. Those things, I need those things. That's my working space. It is not storage. It is not to be made junk. So it's always clean and it's always neat, and that makes me very happy. So my fire escape is located in my workspace area, and what I do there is just dry clothes. When I wash clothes, I get out there and I hang it up, and that's it. I also keep my plants out there. I have these beautiful golden pathos that are growing. I keep them out there in the warmer weather, so they're going to be out there until the weather drops to about 70, 65, and then I'll bring them back inside. They have grown so much being out there. They love it out there, and I miss them, but I got to see them happy. So I'm going to be propagating, by the way. I have they've grown a lot, so the vines are really long. So I'm going to cut all along the pot, cut all the vines out, and propagate. I've seen a few videos on propagating, and I'm very excited to try it out. So eventually, I'm going to have some pots propagating in some plants propagating in my windows along my home. Cool. I want to show you the pots that I got for propagating. I saw a few videos on YouTube that I found really helpful to prepare me to propagate. And one of the videos, this gentleman mentioned that that you should keep the roots away from direct sunlight, and so that's why I got vases that are dark. And also my apartment is really dark. I get no light in here, and so I'm going to be propagating all along my windowsills, and it's pretty warm. It's pretty, there's a lot of heat in this apartment. So he said to keep it in an area with a lot of heat and away from the sun. And so I bought a dark glass vase for that reason. This one here is really cool. It's a tortoiseshell or leopard kind of design. I'm really happy with it. I think it's gorgeous. So this actually is going to take a lot of leaves, a lot of clippings, because he kind of had a bunch in there at the time, and so I'm going to do the same thing. I also bought another one that's also dark. Not too dark, you know, they have a bit of opaque to them, but it's what I found, so it's what I'm going to use. This one is also really beautiful. It's green and it has texture. It's gorgeous. So I need to find more. I'm going to find about 2 more because I'm going to be propagating a lot of clippings. And so I'm really excited about that. Anyhow, those were from the Goodwill, and I think they were about $1 each or something like that. I can't remember. Let's go back to my bathroom for a second. My bathroom is perfect. It does what I need it to do. It is what I need it to be. I don't do much in there by way of changing things around. I only ever change my toilet seat and the color of my heater in there. My curtain has been the same for years. I found it a long time ago in Century 21 for like $7 on sale, and I bought it. And I've Googled it because I've been considering replacing it because it looks a little funny, but I wipe it down and clean it. And I find that it's pretty expensive, so I doubt that I'll be repurchasing it. I'm just going to keep cleaning it. The heaters all over my apartment are a really ugly bone color. I've never painted the heaters in my apartment, and I don't think I'm going to do that. The one in my bathroom, I've painted a few times. I painted it black, brown, silver, and today we're going to take it back to black. Sanding sponge. So this is to prep the heater. So there's chipping, the paint has chipped, there's, you know, it's rusty, so I'm going to sand it down a bit to prepare it so that it can be ideal for painting. So I bought this tiny little pot of paint for heaters, meaning that it won't rust. It has a protective enamel and all that. I don't know this brand. It says Rust-Oleum. I'm guessing that might be the brand. It says Stop Rust, protective enamel, superior durability, premium quality, oil-based. She said this will work beautifully, and so I bought it, the lady at the hardware store. And my toilet seat. We're gonna have a black toilet seat now, which I think is gonna work out nicely because the toilet seat that I have now is cream. I don't like it at all. It's gross. And I wanted to, I have these tiles that are along the bathroom, you know, they're black and cream tiles just going all around the bathroom. I like the way that looks. I think it looks pretty, and I think if I have a black and white toilet, it will complement it. It will look nice. And so I think this is the best choice ever. I think a black seat is perfect for the toilet seat. I bought something else from the Goodwill for my bathroom, and it is this gigantic dish. So you might think that's too big to be a soap dish, but it's not, because I buy those huge soap bars that you see out there. Here's my soap bar. I bought it. It smells really nice. Grapefruit is a delicious scent for the shower because it really wakes you up. It's beautiful. This was $4 at TJ Maxx, and it is by Asquith and Somerset. I think that's pronounced correctly. And it's made in Portugal. Anyhow, this is a pretty intense block of soap. So right there, half of it is taken up already. So if I need to do something like put a ring there, or take my earrings off if I forgot, or put another soap there. I have a bunch of soaps from Lush, well, samples. I always go in there and get a sample. And so I can collect them here. And it's perfect. So this was $2. I bought a soap dish from TJ Maxx for $6, and it just felt bad in my chest because I knew that was overpriced, because I knew that I can go to Goodwill and find something that will work beautifully as a dish, great quality, for a lot cheaper. Bed Bath & Beyond had a few that were really gorgeous, but for like $15, $12, I wasn't having it. I already know what a good deal looks like. I know what I'm capable of finding, and because of that, I can't just buy something. You all might think $6 is nothing, but it is something. I'm not working. I've been applying for jobs everywhere, and I'm trying to get back out there and get, you know, steady income, and I'm not going to surrender my $6 that quickly. So in regards to cleaning is everything. If my home is clean, I am very happy. If my home is not clean, I am aggravated, sad, frustrated. I clean every single day. That's the only way to keep the apartment clean. Deep cleanings, not every single day, of course, because they're not needed, but upkeep every single day. And a few things that I do that I think people might overlook is, for example, my lights. You know, my lights on my ceilings. There's a dish on there, and they collect dust, and so they kind of hinder the light that I get and the glow that I get in my apartment. Also, bugs wind up there, like flies, or I don't even know what kind of bugs they are, but I can always see little dark shadows and silhouettes of little critters up there that are dead. And so I climb up there, I get them out, I get the dish, and I wipe it down and clean it and screw it back in. That's something that I mean, I'm constantly in my home, I'm looking around. If I look up and I see all these silhouettes, these little silhouettes of these little bugs, it's gonna bother me. And so I get up there and I clean it, and that's something that I think people might overlook. Another thing is, if something is white, then I need it to be white. I need it to stay white. For example, the tiles in my bathroom, in the shower. A long time ago, I used to scrub those tiles, like scrub them down. And my neighbor Moses, rest in peace, he told me that all I have to do is spray it down with bleach and leave my house, because you know bleach has a really strong, dangerous aroma, and it has a dangerous effect on you, and so you shouldn't be inhaling it. So I leave my apartment, I spray it down when I know I have a long day ahead of me, spray it down, leave my apartment, and come back, and the tiles are completely brand spanking new, sparkling white. And so that's something that's important to me. I mean, I don't like to see mildew, I don't like to see soap scum. So the bleaching actually really works. It works like, if you are economical and you need a fan in your home, I have a fan and an AC, but my AC is just costly and loud. It's on right now because without that I would be drenched in sweat right now. So it is on and you can hear it in the background, but I'm only using it now for this video. My fan is something that I rely on and I use pretty regularly. We're having a heat wave at the moment in New York. It's intense, it's not safe, and so of course I stay cool with my fan. My fan is another thing that collects dust, so I unscrew it, I open it, and I clean it out. I have a lot of mirrors in my apartment, so I'm always giving them a few spritz of Windex and cleaning them with the newspaper. My husband reads the paper, and so I always have the newspaper in his home, and so I'm always wiping them down with the newspaper. It leaves no streaks, it leaves a beautiful clean reflection, and that's what I need when I'm looking at a mirror. The mirrors do really help me make my apartment look bigger and makes it easy for light to bounce around rather than me feeling like I'm always in this really dark apartment. Anyhow, I also have this thing that I do that I'm just going to mention. Every corner of my apartment, or every room in my apartment or space in my apartment, has a cup of water in the corner. It's not a cup in particular, it could be like an old Welch's can, but this to me is it brings good fortune. I was taught that a long time ago, and I believe it and I do it. So there's a cup of water in every corner of this apartment. That's it, I think we've come to the end. Let's see. Yeah, I think we have. Home for me is home. You know it when you step into it. You know it when you step foot into it. It's peace, it's stillness, and it's tranquility, and it's not something that I would ever give up to trends or certain styles or fashion. My home is my home, and it needs to be an epitome of calm for me. And so I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope you have some good tips from this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, if there's anything that I forgot to mention, you know, just ask and I shall answer. I'm going to link all the videos and, you know, everything that I can below. If I forget to link something, please let me know and I'll do it right away. Again, thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing. Thank you very much.